In terms too, by the way, of having a kid, it's motivation-wise, nothing will motivate you more than that. Nothing. And it also really disrupts what you think your purpose in life is. Like prior to that, you're like, I wonder what my purpose is. What is my purpose? And then it's like kid, it's like, it just shifts all of that. You still have your purpose, but like now there's two. And it also reminds you, this is the really beautiful thing of it. It reminds you of what conditioning, like social conditioning, takes away from us as we get older. Right? It reminds you of that, what it feels like to just truly live. Right? Before all the thought patterns and the worries and this kick in, just being like, life, yes, oh, and you're excited about everything, you're immersed in everything. There's a quote from Robert Greene in the book Mastery that I love where he says, true genius is accomplished by two things. It's one, getting back in touch with that childlike excitement and fascination that we tend to lose as we get older. So again, a kid's like, oh, so yes, yes, yes. But a kid's also a bit more ADD all over the place. You don't have perhaps the ability to concentrate for a long period of time, to work at something for a long period of time, to think about all the different, again, puzzle pieces and challenges. That's something you cultivate as an adult. But then as an adult, you lose that childlike excitement. If you're able to combine the two, you have the childlike excitement, and then you can stick to that for a long period of time. That's where, again, genius starts clicking in. And this is something to audit within yourself. It's like, sure, maybe you've learned a lot more, you know a lot more, you're a lot more serious, but is there still that spark inside? Do you still get excited about even little things? Right? Like, when's the last time you were extremely excited and you're just like, about something? When's the last time you truly laughed? Like, laughed so hard you started crying? Right? So it reminds you of that. You're like, whoa. And just how ultimately, like, yes, in one sense, life is serious, right? It's like you better learn how to navigate this world. And we were talking about chess. So much of that also applies here, right? It's like a lot of, like, again, problem solving, but even social skills. That's the language of navigating this world here. So yes, you should, but at the same time, it shouldn't be this very serious burden that just drags you down. Right? I believe it's Eckhart Tolle who says that, right? Life's not as serious as we make it out to be. I think. I might be wrong, but I think. Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. And it's true. Right? It's like, hey, why don't we still have that fun excitement? Then also be careful of the self-help conditioning where they're like, hey, if you dare smile, are you truly a hustler? A hustler never smiles, only works and hustles all the time. No, a true sign of success, and this is also like defining what success is for you, is someone who is smiling in life and basking in this experience. Right? The behind the scenes of truly successful people is they're joking around and laughing and smiling a lot. And also ask yourself, say that wasn't the case. Say you're like full hustler mentality. Is that the result you want? Right? So it's interesting. This would be also the follow-up. It's, there's so much benefit to self-help, to spirituality, but also ask yourself, like, how can I make this work for me? Key. Right? So all of this advice only works if you know who you are and where you want to go. Meaning, don't just get sucked into someone else's goal. Don't even get sucked into self-help's goal. What's self-help's goal? If you actually think about it, it's a really sad goal, right? It's someone who has this long morning routine that's very disciplined. Like, who here has a morning routine that lasts over 15 minutes? You can own it. Over 30 minutes. Over an hour. Okay, over 2 hours. 1, okay. Over 3? No. I always joke, people's morning routines tend to become their days. It's like, that's your whole day, your morning routine. But no, it's like, that's the ultimate self-help person. Wake up, it's like morning routine, everything's very structured. I do this, I do this, I do this. Then I must optimize every second of the day. It's crazy when I see people fall into this trap where they never really have, quote unquote, time off. Like, what they do in their time off is, I listen to an audiobook, I read, I watch documentaries, I'm always learning. I'm like, whoa, right? It's like, is that really the result you want? Like, say before you even found out about this, would that be your ideal life? Someone who is always productive 24/7, who only thinks and talks about successful things, who only has other friends who do the same, and it's always like serious business hustle talk. Every second of the day is like kind of planned out. It turns into this very compulsive thing. It's like, well, then I need to eat this in my supplements and this in my journal and my calendar. But it's like, is that really the result you want? Now, it could be. For real. For some of you, it could be. You're like, well, yes. In that case, awesome. In that case, you are aligned with your authentic win. If it isn't, then you better get clear on what that actual win is. The same with, becoming a billionaire or millionaire and doing this and this. It's like, is that truly what you want? It could be. But is that really your goal, or is it a goal that's been programmed into you? Social media does this too. Right? You see all these other people and you're like, oh, I think it's even argued that we shouldn't know so much about what other people are doing or thinking all the time. And especially, as we talked about before, so much of it is skewed. Right? Like I could take my phone here and film a quick little Instagram story of me, say, laughing like crazy. I'm like, I'm having the best day ever. And you're going to watch that and say you're not having the best day ever. You'd be like, oh, I wish I was like Julien, having the best day ever. But say I did that on a day where I felt terrible. It's not actually an accurate representation. I could also have, the more you also see the behind the scenes, like you'll see people sometimes even on vacation and they'll put a video out like hustling 24/7. And you think they are, but they aren't. Right? People post the highlight reels. It's so distorted. And then we start comparing ourselves to that and then feeling bad. It also gets you to doubt your win and purpose and who you are if you don't have, again, that clear, grounded identity. Right? It's like, imagine, I love this example. Like you, what's your favorite food? In front.
Carne asada tacos.
Okay, tacos. So say that was in front of you, and it's like the best carne asada. You're like, yes, got my tacos in front of me, you're ready. And say, while you're eating your tacos, you have to go in this room, and there's a 360 screen all around you, and it's showing you the most succulent photos of every other dish on earth except for tacos. You're gonna see like nice like burgers and steaks and stuff. Is that gonna perhaps take some of the joy out of your experiencing tacos? You'll be like, well, this is good, but I also want a steak now. Oh, I want that. Oh, and there's sushi too. That's what happens with your purpose. I'm gonna do this. And then you'll see a story on Instagram like, I'm doing that. You're like, should I be doing that then? And then there's this and this and this, and you start doubting yourself. You get pulled in all these directions. The weakest of people will get so disillusioned, they'll then get very bitter and angry towards the whole self-help community. They're like, well, screw this. It was too overwhelming. It was confusing. I'm just going to settle. That's like the saddest of sad. No, it's not about that. It's about, again, not getting used by it, but using it. Key questions: who am I? What do I value? Where am I going? And then use all of this to get there. Don't come at this looking for, oh, please tell me. You figure it out, and then use the tools. This is very common too, just in terms of general FOMO, right? It's like there's a big fear of losing out, and people try to minimize losing as much as they can in life. What you have to realize is that FOMO is part of life. Like you're going to lose out on something no matter what. You pick to go right, you're going to lose out on going left. You pick left, you're going to lose out on going right. You picked, like again, career and money. Sure, you could say you lost out on, say, more social fun situations, but say someone who picked that, they lost out on making money. Everyone loses out. You're all going to lose out. The key, though, going back to, okay, start with the end goal in mind, is what are you willing to lose out on? For example, myself right now, I actually know the exact steps to take to 3 to 5x my income. I know exactly how to do this. It's very possible for me to do this. However, for me to do that, I would have to sacrifice a lot of other things, like things in my personal life, family time, so on and so forth, health to a certain extent. I'd have to lose out on all that, and I'm not willing. So I'm actually willing to lose out on the 3 to 5x to keep that at this point in life. That might change, we'll see, but at this point, that. So for you, it's, yes, there's things you lost, perhaps, yeah, but what did you gain? Like, what is something that you have now, and this is something just to reflect on over time, like, what did you gain that someone who didn't take that path didn't gain? Someone who's just been like, oh, socializing, having fun, what did they learn? What are some of the unique experiences or lessons or epiphanies or expertise that you now developed? Or again, if you've done well, now you have a certain amount of finances that allows you to do things that now they can't, right? So yes, things you lost. And again, if there's part of you that's like, okay, well now it's time to kind of rekindle that. great, but don't be like, oh, I'm so mad, so on. It's like, no, you still gained a ton from it. No matter what you do, all of you gain a ton from it, if you can see it, okay? Now, as we talked about, looking at the past, no reason to be mad because you do the same thing again. But you're looking at old you with current you eyes. So you're like, you dumb, you should have. And you're like, no, that old you thought that. But now you're at this realization. So here it's like, okay, well, now that I know this, how can I, and there's perhaps that inspiration to have more, say, fun social experiences or whatnot, or milk life more so. Okay, well, now let's shift to that. And even better than just shifting to that, the question for you is, and again, reflect on this, how can I shift to that using the benefits that I learned from the past 10 years of doing all this to even shift to that in a better way and unlock even more experiences? So you're actually in a better spot now because you can combine the two together, right? And then, lastly, in terms of what drives you to do all that, it is important to audit. When people say even like, money is a goal, you could argue like, sure, it's a goal. It's like, I want to make X amount. It could be a goal. However, the way I like to view it is that money is more so a tool. So even we talked about purpose, right? Purpose is a process. What does money do? It allows you to perhaps do more of your purpose or unlock more opportunities of your purpose, right? Like even running an event like this, it actually costs a lot of money, right? So having the money allows you to say rent a big room, fly everyone out, the crew, the team, the equipment, stream it, et cetera, et cetera. Great. But the joy isn't in the money, it's in using it to more of your purpose. Like any of you, for example, who ever say bought a coaching or a program, guess where most of that money goes? Right back into this. What do you think keeps the free videos going? Right? To do that, it's like it's not free. Like to do that, it's like it has to come from somewhere. It's like it allows you to do more. That's literally the first thing I think. It's like, if there's, say sales or money, I'm like, yes, I can do more videos, or I can do this and travel and do this video, or add a better quality thing, or do this, or it frees up some time to go deeper on my teachings and expand them, et cetera, et cetera. So it's really a tool. So that's a good way to think of it. And then if your goal is money, that could be great. But then the next question is, well, what's that thing that you're going to do to make the money that you love? That's the thing. Money could, sure. How are you going to make it in a way that is fulfilling and that feels amazing and authentic to you? So that's what I would say. And then, just kind of look at, okay, where did that come from? What was perhaps that end destination? Like say it's like money, money, money. Say it's like, okay, now you get it, all the money, now what? And then you can kind of see. And then, like I said too, if you do you tend to be more logical overall? Yeah. So it could, how I talked about on day one, if you tend to be more logical, you will, the way to make sense of life or to give life meaning is to set those like kind of metrics and just keep chasing and like check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. So for that, I would say, whether it's, again, like learning how to let go or doing anything to just start kind of getting back in touch with the body and the depth of experience of life versus just the mental meaning. Doesn't mean now stop, having goals. By all means still do, but add the depth to it, not just surface. Because oftentimes too, what you'll see with that is, you check one, you don't really enjoy, and then you immediately need to check the next one, check the next one, and check the next one, and then you die. And then what I'll also do is, everyone tends to be used to scheduling in work time, which is great. I also make sure to schedule in mess around time where I'm not allowed to be productive even if I wanted to. Every day. Meaning, say you're like, okay, from 9 to 5 I'm working. Okay, what about 5 to 6? That could be like mess around. And then I'm pretty firm on those boundaries where, say that time hits, even if part of me is like, just a little more work, it's like, no. This is mess around time. And this allows you to truly work. It's like work hard, play hard. It's like to truly work and then truly play. Because sadly, most people are one foot in each. When you're working, you're kind of half working because you want to be playing. And then when you're playing, you feel guilty about it. So you have work on your mind. You're just kind of always pulled in these two directions. Having those clear, that clear schedule and like boundaries in place allows you to really bask in both areas. So every day, schedule in mess around time. Not allowed to read books during that time. Nothing productive. Nothing. And this will actually also allow you to, so self-sabotage, we talked about this too, remember, ceiling of success, floor of success. letting go does most of it, but also if you're someone who's trying to shoot up too fast, meaning it's like work, 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 eventually you're going to snap. It's not sustainable. So this is also why every day kind of sprinkling in some mess around time keeps it sustainable in the long run, right? Versus kind of like, once I make a certain goal, reach a goal, then I can mess around. It's like, no, do both every day, and just keep that going over a long period of time. So those are some of the habits. And then I would also say on top of mess around, just anything that just kind of feeds your soul, whatever that is for you, right? Like for me, I to this day, I still love socializing and talking to people and messing around. I still have the same messed up sense of humor I've always had, but it comes from a way healthier place now. So whether it's that or joking around with friends or spending time with family, it's like whatever just kind of, just lights you up. It's like give yourself whatever that reward is that you're chasing, give it to you now. And that's also with the death meditation. You realize like you could die at any time, right? Like who knows? Maybe like, and this too, it shows you just how insane a lot of us are with what we think, what we do, our concerns, our worries, the things we give importance to or not. It's like, hey, who knows? Maybe, a month or two from now, we'll all be nuked, right? Sad, terrible to think about, scary to think about, but notice how just that puts so much in perspective. Right? It's like, oh, my little worries. It's like, hey, you're gonna die. It can also be very interesting to study, and you can look this up, of course, some of the top regrets people have on their deathbeds. It's funny, we all kind of know it, right? It's like, I wish I would have allowed myself to be happier, to take more opportunities. So we all hear that, and it sounds good, and you're like, oh yeah, and then you go back to scrolling. Right? But actually take the lesson, right? Like you have the warning. The warning's there. What's crazy too about the whole nuke situation I just gave you? It is insane to me that scares you more than everyday life. Meaning, yes, it's scary, but guess what? You could also leave this room and get hit by a car. You could walk out and a coconut could fall on your head and you die. I believe 150 people a year die by coconuts falling on their head. It's true. It's actually true.
It's like 100,000 die by brain aneurysm.
Brain aneurysm, yeah. There you go. Like, boom, could just hit you. Yeah. Like you could be sitting right here, brain aneurysm, you're dead. So yes, right. Like the whole nuke thing's scary because it's bigger, it's more real. You see it, it's tangible. But like anything could really happen. So if you think like, I'm all peachy, the only worry is the nuke thing. No, there's tons of other things that could kill you. Like the fact that let's go back to just say, kind of looping it around here and just putting it all together. We talked about, say, parenthood. The number one thing I learned from, having a kid was even like before birth, all the things that could go wrong. It is baffling. Like for anyone here, like, for you parents, for those of you who aren't, remember these words. Two key pieces of advice. You're going to find out, assuming you want kids, that you're going to have a kid and you're going to be ecstatic. I hope. So you're going to be like, yes. Then you're going to have to wait a little bit because they usually take you in for a first appointment like 8 weeks or so in. You'll go for your appointments. You'll be all excited. And you're like, the couple, like, yeah, we're having a kid. And you expect the doctor to be like, congratulations. It's going to be peachy. And they do that. Okay, well, congratulations. Then they sit you down and they're like, well, here are all the complications that could happen. Here's all the tests you need to do. Here's all the risks. And then we got to do this. And then another thing they do, which I think is optional, you can do like a blood test between you and your partner to see, combined together, what kind of diseases could happen. And you're just like, all this happens. And then we're going to do the ultrasound to make sure all the limbs and members are there. You're like, oh my God, like even before all of those, like, you're just like, please. And it's like, that's just before the kid's even born and here. So just getting to the point of birth and not having any of those complications is a miracle. And then there's all the life that happens and stuff. And all, you're just like, all of us here that have made it this far, it is a miracle. We are so lucky. And we are in such delusion thinking like, it's kind of safe. It's like every day we're beating the odds. Like you're winning the lottery. So much could go wrong so fast, right? And I think even on a world level too, that tends to be what happens, right? It's like you saw how things shifted so fast back in 2020, right, with your first COVID lockdown. It's like your life disrupted. Then now it's like, oh, the whole potential nuke thing, life disrupted. That's on a more world scale, but hey, everyday people, that happens. Everyday people, again, brain aneurysm. You could walk out and something happens health-wise, you lose a leg, right? Like a acquaintance of a good friend of someone I know, her mother had some kind of, I feel like it was a heart surgery, but it was supposed to be somewhat of a minor surgery. Went in, and I guess the doctor stepped out for the final phase, and another doctor kind of sewed her up or something. There was a complication. Anyway, she lost, from that, they had to take, I guess, 3 of her fingers for some reason, lost a leg, one day to the next. She was supposed to be back on her feet like a week, 2 weeks after. Goes in, life's never the same since. So much shit could happen so fast. You could walk down the street, you could get mugged. You could trip, you could fall. I mean, we are beating the odds. So don't use this, and this is even back to Stoicism, right? Like memento mori, live with death on your mind. Don't use this to be scared. This doesn't mean now shelter yourself to life and try to make everything safe and cozy and make it all a safe space. But it means, use it more so to deepen your experience of life, to align yourself with reality. The more you're aligned with reality, the healthier and more fulfilling your life will be. And actually, one last thing too, with the whole like safe space, like so much of, it's a great practice. Like so much of what goes on through your head, audit it, and as a thought experiment, like we talked about yesterday, if you had a kid, if you wouldn't say it to your kid, don't say it to you. Right? It's crazy how again, it's like, oh, I wouldn't do, but to me, everything's fine. It's like, no. Have that same love and respect towards yourself. And the same with trying to say, shelter yourself from life. A lot of people will tend to, call it like helicopter parents or whatnot. It's like keep your kid in a little safe bubble and safe space. You can do that, but eventually you're delaying the inevitable where they will have to face life. Life's not like that. What's better is protect them, but don't shelter them, and then teach them how to deal with and process this experience of life. Same with you. Don't shelter yourself from life. Be smart, protect yourself, but jump in, play to win, learn along the way, process what comes up, and crush it.